I spent $5,998 on a custom AI trained on $31 million in consulting, like real consulting work across 1,026 businesses, built on all of Alex Hormozi's books. Okay, so that includes $100 million offers, $100 million leads, and now $100 million money models. It's built on 12 playbooks specifically designed to scaling any business, and it covers leads, sales, delivery, and profit. Okay, and if you couldn't already tell, I am referencing Alex Hormozi's AI built by acquisition.com. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down one simple question, okay? And that is, if I were a business that's between $25,000 and $50,000 a month, like let's say you're a high ticket business that's doing that much per month right now, I asked it one question, and that is, what's the fastest path to 300K per month profit? And here's the thing. It didn't just tell me to run more ads. Okay? It actually surprised me, and it honestly changed the way I look at scaling high ticket offers. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact plan that it broke down for that question and how you can benefit from that yourself. But without further ado, just going to get right into it. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Oscar Sanchez, and I help high ticket businesses make more money and scale. Okay? And so right now, I'm not going to sell you anything, so don't worry about it, but let's go ahead and get into this video. And yeah, so right now I'm on the acquisition.com AI chat. And as you can see, there's all these different things here. Right, so AI Business Advisor, chat with Alex Hormozi's proven strategies and frameworks, get instant access to strategies from $100 million offers, $100 million leads, and exclusive workshop content. That's what I said in the intro. And basically, this is like having all of acquisitions.com team and Alex Hormozi on your side of the table. It's like literally just having a one-on-one with them, except it's an AI and it's not, them in the flesh, but it's definitely a pretty good step down from that. And over here we have some of the bonuses that I got as well with this. And so let me just go ahead and tell this AI real quick. So let me go ahead and move this just so I can move a little bit more freely and not hit this microphone. Okay, hopefully that didn't make a weird sound. All right, so this is a new chat for a fresh new business. Okay, and it's gonna ask me a few questions on what the specifics of that business are, and I'll break it down here in just a minute, okay? And as this loads, by the way, if this AI that I'm using right now, it's not for sale anymore. If you didn't want to use it, unfortunately, this was only available during Alex Hormozi's $100 million Money Models book launch. And it was part of a bundle that came with the 12 playbooks, the AI, and everything else that you saw on the screen before. And you can't get it anywhere else, okay? Only a few people actually have access to this, so I think this is pretty valuable. Right, so let's get you paid fast. Alex Hormozi, let's get it done. All right, so new business equals speed and proof. I'm going to run a single play to get your first 3 to 5 clients quickly, then scale to pick the right version, answer these fast. All right, check this out. So I am currently at, let's say, okay, so what I realized is that it's still using some of the information I have for my business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to personalize it and just change these settings. So primary delivery type of your core offer is done with you. Primary delivery mechanism of your core offer is services, physical products, information. Let's say information, or honestly, let's say services. So primary mode of advertising is paid advertising. Primary lead getter, let's say, or yourself, let's say self or employees, just to make things simple. Monetization mechanism, generating majority of revenue. Okay, yeah, so this is low volume, high ticket, continuity / recurring payments. So let's say, for example, you're 25 to 50K per month. Let's say you help high ticket businesses run their sales teams and make them perform better. Is that a continuity or a high? I'd say that's high ticket, like low volume, high ticket, right? That would make sense. It could be continuity, but let's keep things simple, okay? Now, primary selling mechanism of your core offer. So we have these 4 options: in-person plus salesperson, in-person plus self-checkout, online call plus salesperson. That's the one we're going to choose. How many employees do you have? A few, okay? And let's say little tech status. Oh, current tech status. Okay, so basically this is saying how good are you with technology, right? Or how much technology are you currently using right now? And so let's say you have a CRM and maybe a few tools. Primary business constraint, I'd say delivery, right? So let's say you're at 50K per month, 10K per client, and you're at maximum capacity. Core offer description, enter your answer. High ticket, scale to 1 million a month. Training and managing their sales team. Current yearly revenue. So yearly revenue, so 50 times 12, 600K, right? So 600K. Current yearly profit. Ooh, well, let's say you run margins of 600K. Let's say 40% margins, so 240,000. Okay, 240. Okay, let me exit this. 240. That's too many zeros. 240. Yeah, okay, so 240,000 new customers per month. Let's say 3. Even though you're at capacity, you're still bringing on a little bit more than what you can do. So you're very, very constrained. This is a very specific scenario, okay? I don't know if you can tell, but in order to actually make this video and make this valuable, this has to be very, very, very specific. So let's say that you have 10 clients, you're at capacity, and you're kind of trickling in 2 to 3 new customers per month. So you're at capacity, you're overworking yourself, you're working very long hours. But you're making good money, right? You're making good money. You have healthy margins. Matter of fact, I would even actually bump this up to like 400K per year, right? Because if this, let's say you're the primary person who's delivering the service, so the margins are going to be a little bit better. Maybe you have a few assistants, maybe a few project managers, maybe some other people in the business. But let's say you have healthy margins, 400,000. Current head count, let's say 3 people. Okay. And then is that everything? Okay. Save changes. And then let's create a new chat. To 300K profit. Path to that. There you go. And so this takes a little bit of time to think, right? Because it's pretty heavy AI. There's a lot of data points that go into this AI. But I'll wait for this to load here. And so essentially, if you want to know what my constraint in business was. So I went through this more than a month ago, and essentially my main constraint in business is nobody knows who I am, right? Nobody's aware of my offers, plural. And yeah, so my main thing, the main thing that I'm focused on right now is literally just spamming YouTube videos, spamming value. And so that's why I'm here creating this video. And yeah. Oh, don't tell me it didn't load. For fuck's sake. God damn it. Alright, remind me not to switch chats as it's loading. Okay, so the fastest path, install a $100 million money model 4-year offer. Okay, so you got to install, that's the first step. Your delivery, so you're constrained, right? More leads would break you, so we flip the model. Make more profit per client in the first 30 days and stack recurring cash after. Here's one strategy. Okay, so you build a deliberate offer sequence. You have an attraction offer, then you upsell them, then you downsell, and then you have a continuity service. So one customer pays for the next, and you scale without starving cash or drowning in delivery. Okay, I like that. That's how I went from broke to $100 million sequence offers. Perfect one stage at a time and let profits fund scale. Okay, so essentially it's telling you need to make more money per customer. And if you're, I mean, it makes sense, right? If you're constrained in delivery and you can't bring in more customers without hiring people, then it makes sense to make more per customer so that you can fund that, right? So how to execute it, do this and only this now. This AI is a little aggressive, by the way. I like it. Okay, so here's the attraction offer. So 30-day sales team install. So in 30 days, you source, hire, script, train, and stand up the client's SDR/closer pod, pipeline, and reporting. Okay, that's pretty good. Time bound, productized, zero scope creep. Zero scope creep. I don't know what that means. Positioning, maximize value equation, right? So bigger dream outcome, higher likelihood, faster time, less effort, use proof, and a clear promise window to raise perceived likelihood fast. Okay, so just offer stuff. Pricing, set a premium one-time fee to front load cash. Raising price increases profit and reduces delivery load, fewer clients, more margin. So increase prices. Okay, that's good. And then you want to test the price so that it maximizes conversion. And lifetime gross profit goes up. It's usually higher than you think. And then here's the upsell. Managed sales ops, add a milli after install closes. Ooh, okay. Sales ops. And the purpose here is to solve the next problem that your install reveals. Ongoing management, right? Coaching, Q&A, dashboards, and hiring benchmarks, I'm guessing. And this is where 30-day profits clears acquisition plus delivery and funds growth. Oh, this is really, really good actually. So you're installing a sales ops mechanism, right? And you're basically revealing the problem, which then gives you the layup to the next offer, right? So it's like, hey, your lead to booking sucks. I'll do this, and that so that we can improve that specific KPI, and I'll manage it on an ongoing basis, right? The continuity aspect. I like that. Okay, so offer timing, upsell at highest need, day 21 or day 30, when the system is live and fragile. Okay, so like when to present the offer. And then the downsell, if they say no, right, what are the terms? Right, so terms, not price. If they say no, what happens? Switch to a payment plan switch to a payment plan / trial, or remove features as guarantees, feature downsell. Keep price integrity, change terms, okay? Continuity, retainer with commitment incentive. So this is the continuity. And then within the first 30 days, use continuity bonuses, discounts, or waive set of fee in exchange for term. locks retention without crushing 30-day cash. So essentially it's just building the offer sequence. But I really like this upsell of installing sales ops and then using that to lay up the upsell. And so why this is the fastest path, it removes the cash constraint. One customer's 30-day cash pays for 2+ more customers and delivery. And then you can scale ads hard. Yeah. So like if you're making more profit per customer, your lifetime value to CAC is going to increase significantly, which is going to give you so much more room for ads. This makes sense. And then back of a napkin, 200-300K per month. Profit, okay. Assuming 70% gross margin, excuse me. Since I don't have your exact margins / prices, I'll set precise targets once you give them. Okay, so we need to provide more data. Current price. So current price is, let's say 10K. Okay. 10K. And average gross margin on your core offer. Average gross margin equals, it's about 66%. So number 2, how many installs per month can you deliver with the current team? So right now, we can deliver on 10 clients. And the math is not mathing right now. So we said you're at 50K per month. So that's, say, $5,000. That's very cheap. For this kind of offer, $5,000 is pretty cheap. That doesn't really make sense. Let's do 10,000. And then you can deliver on 7. How about that? So you're almost at capacity on about 7 clients. And you have 5 clients, 3 case studies. Okay. Again, this is a very specific scenario for it to make sense, right? So current 90-day lifetime value and average retainer fee. So 90-day lifetime value is $10,000. So let's say you get paid in full, right? No payment plans. Well, let's say you have a few payment plans. So that'll lower the overall lifetime value, the 90-day lifetime value. So let's say you're at about, I don't know, $7,000 in 90-day lifetime value. If you did a payment plan for $10,000, that would make sense, right? So if you broke up 10K into like 3 payments, that'd be $3,333 per month. 30 days, 90 days is about $6,000. Let's say a few people make that. So that brings the average down to $7,000, 90-day lifetime value. I like that. And average retainer fee, there is no retainer. You know what? Let's say $10,000 up front plus performance. No retainer. A retainer, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but just to make things simple, we'll say there's no retainer and it's 10,000 upfront plus performance. That's the model. Okay. So single fastest path, bundle your 30-day install with continuity and raise prices. I like that. Okay, so we're adding a continuity aspect and we're raising prices and then we're bundling it up, okay? And so your delivery, right, you're constrained on delivery. So we make more profit per client in 30 days and you stack reoccurring. I like that. Do it with one deliberate money model. So an attraction offer, right? That's the install. And then you upsell them into managed sales ops. And then you can, if they say no, you can downsell them to, different terms. Maybe you take away a feature. I'll ask it here in just a minute what it would do for the downsell, if that's even important. And then from there, you add the continuity aspect. So this removes the cash constraint and lets you scale without breaking fulfillment, okay? And this is exactly what to implement this week. So I'm just going over what it's spitting out right now, okay? Number 1 is you want to repackage plus reprice the core offer, right? So you're basically changing the core offer. 30-day sales team install. You can make that a little bit more sexier. As a productized scope, right? You hire, you script out the scripts, training, pipeline, reporting, $25,000 up front. Oh, that's a big bump. So we went from $10,000 to $25,000 up front. Raising prices increases profit and reduces delivery load for your clients, more margin. Now, I can already, the first thing on my mind is going from $10,000 to $25,000 might be a big bump for some people, and it might be very difficult to actually execute that. And so what I would say is, and I'm sure this is the same thing that the AI, or the same thing that Alex Hormozi would even say, is to let all of your current clients right now, let them know about the price increase, right? And you can use that to get them onto the continuity, and you can even add a bonus like, hey, I'm going to raise prices to $25,000. You paid $10,000. And as a bonus, what I'll do is I'll waive that fee if you agree to go on this continuity, right? And you can use that as an offer stack. But I would say that to your current clients, and then every single new client, you can sell them this new offer, right? And obviously, you're gonna a lot less. You might even lose some clients, right? But a lot less people will say yes. But the point here is that you're making more money per customer, and that's gonna allow you to inject that cash into the business and make the product better, make the service better, and be able to actually fulfill on more clients, be able to scale and productize the entire thing. Okay, so this actually makes a lot of sense. And this is what I would do. So, and then you want to frame the value equation to lift. Yep, okay. Sell the bundle on the first call. Don't make continuity a second sell. Okay, so you make continuity. You sell the continuity on that first call, right? So the offer is $25K setup plus $8,000 per. So $8,000 per 28 days for managed sales ops starting day 31. Okay. So it's $8,000 per 28 days, not per month, per 28 days. This is a little hack that I noticed that the AI does, and it's actually pretty intelligent. I've never heard anyone talk about this, so listen up. This is actually pretty valuable. So instead of, if you have a continuity offer, right, if you have a reoccurring charge, instead of charging per month, what the AI suggested to do was charge every 28 days. And so what that does is it actually gives you 13 months of pricing, of charging, of invoices, rather than 12. And it adds about an 8 point something percent permanent bump to your revenue, to top line, right? So that's a little hack that you can do to instantly increase revenue by about 8 point something percent and do it permanently. So just charge per 28 days rather than per month. So that's a little hack right there, right? And so it's 8K, so it's 25K setup plus 8K per 28 days starting on day 31 with a 12-week initial term. Okay. Including the recurring fee with the upfront fee to increase take rate and retention. Use a waived fee incentive. Example, first 20 days waived if signed this week. Yeah, that's kind of what I said earlier, right? So you waive the fee in order to get them on the continuity when needed, right? Bill every 28 days, 13 cycles per year, exactly what I said. And then downsell terms, right? Not price. If they bulk, use payment plan, right? Seesaw offers. Basically, just change the offer until they say yes. This is something I learned as well doing door-to-door sales. I used to do this going door-to-door. Anyways. Okay, you change the offer to downsell. Yep. Price, testing discipline. Okay, so every quarter you test the price and pick the one that maximizes sales conversion and lifetime gross profit. The most money price wins, not the highest sticker. Okay, so the one that makes you the most money is the one that you go with, right? Once you get to a point where you're making less money than you're so once you get to the point where you're no longer making more money and you're actually losing more customers, or losing sales, then that's when you stop raising price, and then you find that equilibrium where you make the most per customer, but you still bring in a healthy amount of them into the business, into your ecosystem, right? And so the math to 300K per month profit, right? Assumptions based on the inputs I gave it. So install gross profit, 7 installs. So 25K times 66%, that's gross profit, is about 115.5K gross profit per month. Okay, so so that's just with the upfront. You'll get to about 100K per month, 115K gross profit. Profit, by the way, we're not factoring in cost of acquisition here, but I think this is good enough for now. Not to make it super complex. I want to make this simple. So I think this is good. Continuity gross profit, right? So target 5 of 7, so about 70% of your clients actually get onto the continuity. Yep. And that's at 60% gross margin. That's about 4.8K gross profit per client per cycle. And so you build to 40 active continuity clients over 8 months. So over 8 months, you want to have 40 active continuity clients, 5 added per month, right? You have some churn. And so that comes out to about 40 times 4.8K equals 192 gross profit per cycle. Okay, so that's an extra 192K gross profit per cycle, which is 28 days. And so the total is 115.5K plus 192. So basically the total sum of 7 upfront collected and 40 continuity offers. And that is 307.5K per month. There you go, 300 per month profit, right? Single offer, simple ops, compounding base. Upsells make businesses go from burning cash to printing it overnight. There you go. Do this today. Ship the one pager scope, right? So milestones, 25K plus 8K per 28 days for 12 weeks, waived first cycle incentive. Boom, boom, boom. You update the contracts, you script the downsell terms, and you add the proof section. You start the price test at 25K and track conversion times lifetime gross profit. So I can lock the forecast. Your 7K was 90-day lifetime value. You currently have no. Yes, that is correct. Yes, that is correct. No continuity. The only continuity I had before was performance fee build every month. Okay, so replace performance only with fixed continuity and raise your upfront. Performance only continuity kills cash and retention. Oh, it's interesting. It's telling me that the performance fee is not good. Switch to a deliberate money model, attraction offer, upsell, downsell, continuity. Build it one stage at a time and let 30-day profits fund scale. What to implement right now? Yep, reprice the install to 25. Yep, for your clients, more money. Add a simple guarantee to spike conversions. Make continuity a default, not an optimal performance kicker. So you offer it on the first call, 25K setup plus 8K per 28 days starting on day 31. 12-week initial term, so 3 months. Include the recurring with the one time, so the big anchor makes the monthly feel small and sticky. Yep. Proof stack, okay. Here's the math, again, a little bit more simple. Upfront 7 installs, 115K, continuity. And so the goal is to get 40 continuity clients within 8 months. That's about 5 a month. And 7 upfront. So that's probably about, so that on paper, it will take you, if you follow this process step by step, it will take you 8 months to get to 300K per month profit, right? So before you were at $50,000 per month. I just made you an extra $250,000 per month. Actually, you know what? If you span that out across the year, It's a lot more than 250K per month, right? And this is, I believe this is very, very useful. This is very, very valuable. Wow. So if you actually follow this process, right, don't just watch this video for entertainment, right? Actually, like if you're a similar business to this, or if you're this business, or if you can learn something from this, actually take action on this. Because if this were a real scenario, I just made this business, I don't know. So let's say an extra 250K per month. I just made this business an extra $3 million in 8 months. All right, let's even do this. Let's say in 8 months. I just made this business an extra $2 million in 3 months. Profit. Not revenue. This is gross profit, okay? We could do net profit, which is a little bit better, but I don't want to make it that complex. And there you have it. So if I were to sum this entire process up, it's telling you to, number one, raise prices, right? So you go from $10,000 to $25,000 up front. You remove the performance fee and you go from upfront to continuity, right? And then you have a downsell just in case they say no. And you add a guarantee. You add a guarantee if you're able to handle that, right? If you're good enough for that. Wow. So there you go. There's your answer. The fastest path to 300K per month profit, if you're at 50K per month, is to raise prices, add a continuity, and use that extra profit to improve fulfillment. And so why this works, this sequence prints cash fast without breaking delivery. You perfect one stage before adding the next. Okay? So you take it one step at a time. You don't do all this at once, you do one step at a time. You raise prices. Raising prices increases profit and reduces ops burden simultaneously. So you have less clients, more per client. 28-day billing compounds margin automatically, right? And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. How to scale to 300K per month profit fast. What is the fastest path to scaling to 300K per month profit if you're between 25 to 50K per month and you have a high ticket service, you have a high ticket offer, you have a high ticket information business. And this is exactly what the AI spit out. Again, it's not perfect, right? At the end of the day, it's not, it's a robot, it's an AI, but I think this is pretty damn good for what it's worth. And so I'm going to ask you one question here before I sign off. Knowing what you know, what will be some sticking points or roadblocks that I'll encounter at each step? Just to make this more valuable for you, I want to ask you, what are some of the challenges that you'll face in doing this? And hopefully that helps you actually become aware of that, and now you know what's coming at you. So here we go. Roadblocks you'll hit in this money model and how to beat them. Okay, so the first one is obviously when you're raising prices, you're going to get some sticker shock at $25,000 a month. So the exact fix here is to frame with value equation, right? Yeah, so you increase the dream outcome. You have more certainty on your sales calls, or your team does. And basically you just get better at closing, right? Add a clear risk reversal, so a guarantee. Hold a hard written scope with milestones to block creep. I don't know what it means by scope and creep. I'm sorry. If you guys know what that means, please let me know. It's the morning for me, okay? I'm fresh, but like that doesn't make sense. Anyways, raising price makes more money and lowers delivery loaded simultaneously. Yep. So the next one, so for raising prices, you just get better at closing. So you're going to come across that, or you're going to get some sticker shock. Number two is you sell the bundle. Staking points will do the install now, retain later. You probably get that objection. So the take rate tanks. Yep, push back on term and billing cadence confusion. So the fix for that is you want to present the recurring fee with the upfront on the first call to keep the big to small price anchor and increase retention. All right, that's a good fix right there. Just anchor it with the upfront. You want to bill every 28 days. Switch contracts, and you want to be upfront about it. And if they need timing, make the offer at their moment of greatest need. Sometimes that's just after day 30. Better timing beats forcing it. So if they say no, that just means that they said no at that point of time. But maybe later down the line, once they start to see the value that you provide or the amount of money you make them, they want to actually continue. Or maybe they realize that they need someone to manage them on a continuous basis, right? So there you go. And the sticking points for the downsell without discounting. Price shoppers drag you into discounts. So a little looky-loos, right? Can you just give me a better offer, people? Cash now versus terms later trade-offs. That's pretty simple. Here's the fix for that. And then move your avatar. Yeah, so you just want to make the proof a lot more specific to your current avatar, which is, case studies 101. And then price testing discipline. I think this is important. So fear of being too high stalls testing. I mentioned this earlier, right? Just the fear of being too high priced. And then basically quarterly pick the price that maximizes sales conversion times lifetime gross profit, set break-even conversion versus old price, and only keep the new price if it beats it. There you go. There's the fix to that. And then you want to build one stage at a time. Again, this takes discipline. And if you did all of this all at once, it would overwhelm delivery. And so you just do one thing at a time. And there you go. Those are some sticking points that you would come across in this path and how to fix them. And if you want to be able to have access to this AI and, be able to run your own chat and ask it your own questions and, figure out what the constraint in your business is specifically, because I know this had to be a very specific scenario. And I know not everybody is exactly like this business. And so if you want to have a chance to figure out what the constraint in your business is, what I'll go ahead and do is I have a community. Okay. I have a community where if you join that community, I'll actually give you 1 token per quarter to actually figure out what the constraint in your business is. And the way it works is I can't give you direct access to the AI, right? Because that's just the terms of service. And what I can do, however, is give you a questionnaire to fill out, put that questionnaire into the AI, and give you what it spits out. And that way you still figure out what the constraint in your business is based on your data. And you know exactly what all of your time should be focused on. If you want to be able to do that for free, then there's a link in the description to that community. All you have to do is join, send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you for free. Again, you only get 1 token for that per quarter because your focus shouldn't be scattered. It should be focused. And yeah, that's just a bonus that I wanted to add in for people joining the community. And if you found this valuable, then take action. That's the next step. It's just take action. Peace.